She was screaming before her Mercedes stopped. "You can't build here." Margaret Davies, HOA president in a hot pink pantsuit, pointing at the workshop plans in my hands. "This is my land, my father's land, my grandfather's land." But she wanted it. So she weaponized the HOA against me. 15,000 in instant fines. She publicly called me mentally unstable because I'm a veteran with PTSD. Made my 16-year-old daughter cry in front of neighbors. All because I wanted to build a woodshop to support my family. Then she dropped her clipboard running back to her car. The paperwork scattered across my driveway. What I found changed everything. Evidence of fraud, extortion, federal crimes affecting multiple families. She pushed the wrong veteran. Stay until the end to watch her get arrested trying to burn everything down. Drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. I want to see how many states and countries this story reaches. I'm standing in my driveway, blueprints in hand, when I hear the tires scream. Gravel explodes. A white Mercedes whips into my property like a heat-seeking missile. The door flies open before the car fully stops. She's out, marching. Hot pink pantsuit blazing in the mountain sun like a warning flare. Margaret Davies, HOA president, mid-50s, hair sprayed into a helmet, clipboard clutched like a weapon. "You can't build here." Her voice is a chainsaw cutting through the peaceful morning. I'm Jake Morrison, 42, widowed father, Marine Corps veteran. This land, 15 acres of Blue Ridge Mountain paradise overlooking Crystal Lake, belonged to my father. His father before him. 3 generations of Morrison blood in this soil. My dad died 6 months ago. Left me everything. The house, the views, the memories, and the mortgage he took out trying to pay for chemo. I need income. Fast. So I'm building a workshop. Custom furniture. Handcrafted pieces. Honoring my father's carpentry legacy while keeping a roof over my daughter's head. Every permit filed. County approved. All legal. But Margaret doesn't care. She's in my face now. 3 feet away. I can smell her perfume. Expensive and aggressive. Her finger jabs toward the blueprints. I don't care what some county clerk says. This is MY neighborhood. I try to stay calm. "Ma'am, I have all the proper." "Did I say you could speak?" Her eyes are ice chips. "This property falls under HOA jurisdiction. You build nothing without my approval." My hands tighten on the blueprints. I feel the familiar heat crawling up my spine. PTSD warning signs. Breathe. Control it. I wasn't aware this property was. Ignorance isn't an excuse. She's checking her clipboard now. All business. All authority. You're in violation of codes 3.7, 4.2, and 8.1. That's $15,000 in fines. Effective immediately. My stomach drops. 15,000 plus 500 per day until you achieve compliance. She smiles. Actually smiles. And compliance requires my signature, which you won't be getting. Behind me, the front door opens. Emma, my 16-year-old daughter. She's holding her backpack, ready for school. Her asthma inhaler peeks from her pocket. The expensive one insurance barely covers. Margaret notices her. The smile widens. "Wouldn't want your daughter's college fund drained, would you, Mr. Morrison?" I hear medication costs add up too. Something snaps inside me. Not rage. Colder. More dangerous. My fists ball. Knuckles white. Margaret sees it. She's not afraid. She's thrilled. Threatening an HOA official? She makes a note on her clipboard. That's another violation. I haven't moved. Haven't spoken. But she's building her case anyway. She turns to leave. Victory lap complete. Then it happens. The clipboard catches on her blazer. Papers flutter. Land in my driveway. She doesn't notice. Too busy savoring her dominance. The Mercedes roars to life. Tires spit gravel. She's gone. I stand there, breathing hard. Emma comes to my side. "Dad." I don't answer. I'm staring at the papers scattered on the ground. I bend down. Pick one up. It's an email. Printed. Between Margaret and someone named Davidson Development Corp. Subject line, Re. Morrison Property Acquisition, Compensation Structure. My eyes skim the text. Numbers. Percentages. Terms like persuasion tactics and motivated seller strategies. My blood goes cold. I pull out my phone. Take photos. Every page. Emma's voice trembles. "What is it?" I look toward the doorway. My father's shotgun hangs there. Antique. Family heirloom. Never fired. Just a symbol. Heritage. But right now, it represents something else. Standing your ground. I fold the papers carefully. "Go to school, baby." Everything's going to be fine. She doesn't believe me. Neither do I. Margaret Davies just declared war. She has no idea who she's fighting. 6 months earlier, my phone rang at 2 a.m. The hospital. Dad's heart gave out. Complications from the cancer treatments that were supposed to save him. Thomas Morrison, 71 years old, built half this town with his bare hands. Master carpenter. Beloved father. Gone. The funeral was standing room only. He touched hundreds of lives. Built their homes. Their cabinets. Their children's cribs. He left me this property. 15 acres of heaven. Green mountains rising behind the house. Crystal lake shimmering in the valley. Grass so green it looks painted. Wildflowers everywhere. Peace. Pure peace. Except for the debt. Dad's cancer treatments cost a fortune. He mortgaged the property to pay for them. Experimental therapies. Anything to buy more time. It didn't work. Now I'm staring at monthly payments I can't afford on my disability check alone. Emma needs things. Medicine. College is coming. Her mother, my wife Sarah, died when Emma was 7. Car accident. Black ice. Gone in seconds. So it's just us. Always has been. I need income. The workshop is the answer. Dad taught me everything. Woodworking. Joinery. Finishing. I can build custom furniture. Sell online. Make it work. I filed all the permits. Spent weeks getting approvals. County inspector came out personally. Your father was a good man, Jake. This is approved. I thought I was clear. I didn't know about the HOA. Margaret Davies moved here 5 years ago. Some big city up north. Boston, maybe. She wore power suits to neighborhood barbecues. Drove a Mercedes. Treated everyone like help. Within a year, she'd taken over the neighborhood association. Rewrote bylaws. Created rules nobody voted on. Became president unopposed, because anyone who challenged her got crushed. She's driven out 3 families that I know of. The Hendersons. Retired teachers. She fined them $30,000 for a non-compliant fence. They sold at a loss. Left the state. The Kowalskis. Young couple. First home. Margaret reported them to Child Protective Services. Fabricated neglect claims. The investigation found nothing, but the trauma remained. They moved. The Petersons. Elderly. Margaret claimed their shed violated setback requirements. Daily fines. Legal threats. They couldn't afford to fight. Gone. All 3 properties sold quickly. To the same buyer. Davidson Development Corp. I didn't connect the dots then. Too lost in grief. Too focused on Emma. But now, holding these papers, everything clicks. Margaret's not just a power-hungry bureaucrat. She's running a scheme. The emails spell it out. Davidson Development pays her $50,000 per property she delivers. Cash payments. Off the books. They flip the properties to wealthy out-of-state buyers for triple the price. Lakefront mountain property is gold. Everyone wants it. Margaret's the gatekeeper. She weaponizes the HOA to terrorize homeowners into selling cheap. My father's name is in these emails. Thomas Morrison, priority target, prime lakefront, suggest medical hardship pressure. They targeted my dying father. Rage doesn't describe what I feel. It's deeper. Primal. I look at the list of other targets. 20 names. Some I recognize. Neighbors. My father's friends. Margaret's been systematically destroying lives for years. Pocketing hundreds of thousands. And now she's coming for me. But I have something the others didn't. Evidence. These emails. Hard proof. I scan every page into my computer. Cloud backup. Multiple drives. Send copies to my Marine buddy Derek. Private investigator now, stationed in Charlotte. His reply comes back in minutes. Holy shit. This is federal wire fraud. FBI jurisdiction. How'd you get these? I tell him. He laughs. She dropped evidence of her own crimes? Karma's real, brother. Maybe. But karma needs help sometimes. I start researching. HOA law. Property rights. Fraud statutes. My father fought this HOA years ago. Claimed it was never legally established. He died before resolution. Time to finish what he started. Emma brings me coffee around midnight. Dad, you should sleep. I look at her. 16. Sarah's eyes. Dad's determination. Soon, baby. Soon. Margaret Davies has no idea what's coming. Morning light breaks over the mountains. Beautiful. Golden. Then I see them. Orange tape. Everywhere. Strung across my driveway like crime scene barriers. Violation signs. Dozens. Stapled to trees. Fence posts. My mailbox. Margaret worked overnight. I walk outside. The tape blocks everything. Emma can't get her car out. Can't get to school. My phone's already buzzing. Text message. Unknown number. HOA emergency meeting. Tonight. 7 p.m. Community center. Attendance mandatory. I rip down the tape. Every strand. It takes 20 minutes. My hands are orange with residue. Emma watches from the porch. Silent. Scared. I'll drive you to school, I tell her. She just nods. 7 p.m. I walk into the community center. It's packed. 20 neighbors and folding chairs. Fluorescent lights humming overhead. Stale coffee smell. Margaret presides from a raised platform at the front. Cerie's pink pantsuit tonight. Brighter. More aggressive. She sees me enter. Smiles. Mr. Morrison. So glad you could join us. I take a seat in back. Stay quiet. Let her play her game. She clicks a remote. A projector screen descends. My property appears in high-definition photos. As you can see, Margaret begins. Unauthorized construction materials have been staged at 4782 Ridgeline Drive. I haven't built anything. There's lumber delivery, permitted, paid for, but that's it. She's lying to everyone. Click. Another photo. Close-up of the lumber. This violates HOA Covenant Section 8.1, Aesthetic Standards. Her voice drips authority. The board demands immediate removal and compliance. Someone raises their hand. Old Carl Henderson, the retired teacher who almost got destroyed by her. He stayed, barely. Margaret, doesn't Jake have county permits? Her smile freezes. County permits don't supersede HOA authority. But his property is barely in HOA boundaries. Are you challenging my ruling, Carl? Ice in her voice. Carl sits down. Defeated. Margaret continues. I move for immediate fines. 15,000 initial penalty. 500 daily until compliance. Murmurs ripple through the crowd. Then she clicks again. My military service photo appears. 20 years younger. Dress blues. Medals. We must also consider Mr. Morrison's documented PTSD. She lets that hang in the air. His judgment and stability are questionable. For the safety of this community. My vision goes red. She's weaponizing my trauma. Publicly. In front of people I've known for years. Emma's in the back row. I didn't know she came. Tears stream down her face. Margaret's still talking. I move for cease and desist on all property improvements pending psychological evaluation. Hands start rising. To vote. To side with her. These are people who attended my father's funeral. Who brought casseroles after Sarah died. Now they're about to condemn me because they're terrified of this woman. I stand. The room goes quiet. Before you vote, I say, voice steady. There's something you should see. Margaret's face flickers. Uncertainty. Just a flash. I pull out my phone. Can I use that projector? She recovers. This is highly irregular. Unless you have something to hide. The room watches. Waiting. She can't refuse without looking guilty. Fine. 5 minutes. I connect my phone. The projector switches to my screen. The first email appears. 10-foot-tall letters. From Davidson Development Corp. To Margaret Davies. Subject. Payment schedule. Q3 acquisitions. Everyone leans forward. I scroll. Slowly. Let them read. Compensation per property delivered. $50,000. Target list attached. Recommend aggressive persuasion tactics. Margaret's face drains white. Completely. I click to the next email. Names appear. Neighbors' names. Henderson. Kowalski. Peterson. My father's name. She's been taking bribes, I say quietly. Forcing people out. Fabricating violations. Pocketing cash from developers. The room explodes. Shouts. Questions. Accusations. Margaret lunges for the projector cord. I step between her and the equipment. Don't, I warn. She's breathing fast. Pantsuit wrinkled. Makeup smearing under the lights. This is theft. Private communications. I'll have you arrested. You dropped these on my property. I'm calm now. Dead calm. Abandoned documents. Legally mine. Someone in the crowd, a paralegal, confirms it. He's right. Margaret's trapped. Her empire collapsing in real time. I distribute printed copies. Everyone gets one. Board members start resigning. One by one. Out loud. Margaret tries one final card. I'll sue everyone in this room. But nobody's listening anymore. They see her now. The tyrant. The con artist. The fraud. Her phone rings. She glances at the screen. Doesn't answer. Probably Davidson Development. Hearing about the exposure. She points at me. Fingers shaking. You've made an enemy today. Then she storms out. Heels clicking, doors slamming. The room erupts in conversation. But I feel nothing. No victory. No relief. Because I know this isn't over. Margaret Davies doesn't lose. She escalates. The meeting breaks up slowly. Neighbors approach me, apologizing, thanking me, sharing their own Margaret horror stories. But I'm distracted, watching the door, waiting for the other shoe. Emma finds me, hugs me tight. Dad, you were amazing. I kiss her forehead. Let's go home. We drive back in silence. Mountains black against the starlit sky. Lake reflecting moonlight like liquid silver. Beautiful. Peaceful. Wrong. My gut's screaming. We pull into the driveway. Everything looks normal. House lights on. Workshop lumber still stacked neatly. Then I see it. A white envelope. Tucked under my windshield wiper. Emma's already heading inside. I grab the envelope. Rip it open. Legal letterhead. Davidson Development Corp. Cease and desist. Defamation and harassment. They're threatening to sue me for exposing the scheme. I crumple it. Toss it. Inside, I pour coffee. Check my phone. 37 messages. Neighbors organizing. Talking class action lawsuit. Good. But it won't be enough. Margaret's a cockroach. She'll survive this. Rebrand. Move to another neighborhood. Destroy more lives. Unless I finish her completely. I open my laptop. Start digging deeper. Property records. Court filings. Business registrations. Hours pass. Emma goes to bed. The house settles into quiet creaks. Then I find it. The HOA's founding documents. Filed in 2008. 17 years ago. I read the incorporation paperwork. North Carolina law requires 75% homeowner approval to establish an HOA. I count the signatures. 42 homes in the neighborhood at the time. Only 18 signatures. 43%. The HOA was never legally established. My father was right. He fought this. Tried to prove it. Died before he could finish. Every fine. Every rule. Every threat Margaret ever made. Invalid. Null and void. Illegal. I lean back. Hands shaking. This changes everything. But I need verification. Legal confirmation. I call Derek. 3 a.m. He answers on the second ring. Talk to me. I explain. He's silent for a long moment. Jake, this is nuclear. If you're right. I am. Then Margaret's been running a criminal enterprise for 15 years. Extortion. Fraud. Theft by deception. And it's all based on an illegitimate organization. What do? You document everything. You get a lawyer. And you go public. What about the FBI? Wire fraud. That's secondary. First, you destroy her foundation. Prove the HOA is fake. Everything collapses from there. We talk strategy. Derek promises to dig into Margaret's background. Run a full workup. I hang up. Stare at the documents. My father died trying to expose this. Now I'll finish it. 3 days later. Derek calls. Brother, sit down. I'm already sitting. Tell me. Margaret Davies isn't her real name. It's Margaret Daniels. She's done this before. Twice. My chest tightens. Where? Oregon. Then Arizona. Same pattern. Moves into a neighborhood. Takes over the HOA. Terrorizes homeowners. Works with developers. Makes a fortune. Then leaves before anyone pieces it together. Why hasn't she been arrested? She's smart. Always stays just shy of provable criminal activity. Until now. Those emails you found. She got sloppy. Comfortable. What else? Davidson Development is owned by her brother-in-law. Family business. They've flipped 40 properties in 3 states. Estimated $15 million in profit. I close my eyes. Jesus. There's more. The environmental complaints filed against your property? Shell company. Margaret owns it. She filed complaints against herself to harass you. Pure calculated evil. One more thing. Derek continues. 2 restraining orders in Oregon. Harassment allegations in Arizona. She's been run out before. She just changes names and starts over. How do we stop her? We already did. Those emails. Wire fraud. Federal crime. I've got a contact at the FBI field office in Asheville. I sent him everything. My breath catches. When, an hour ago, they're opening an investigation. This is happening. Really happening. But federal investigations take time. Months. Maybe years. Margaret could vanish before then. Destroy evidence. Flee the state. Derek, we need to move faster. I know. That's why I'm driving up tomorrow. We're going to every homeowner she's victimized. Building a coalition. Filing a class action. And we're going to the media. Media? Local news loves this stuff. HOA tyrant exposed. Fraud scheme. Veteran fights back. It's perfect. He's right. But it also means painting a bigger target on my back. Margaret's dangerous when cornered. Do it, I say. Already scheduled. News crews arrive at your property Friday morning. I look out the window. Workshop lumber waiting in the yard. My father's legacy unfinished. One more thing, I add. I'm calling a community meeting. My property. Everyone she's hurt. This weekend. Risky. She might show up. I'm counting on it. Friday morning breaks cold and clear. News vans arrive at 9 a.m. 3 local stations. 1 regional network. I've prepared. Dressed neat. Documents organized. Emma stays inside. I won't expose her to this. The interviews go well. I stay factual. Show the emails. Explain the illegal HOA. Mention the other victims. The reporters eat it up. Veteran fights, HOA corruption. Development scheme exposed. Mountain community fights back. By noon, it's online. By evening, it's viral locally. My phone won't stop buzzing. Then the retaliation begins. 3 days later. Tuesday morning. Emma's leaving for school when we see them. Federal vehicles. EPA logos. For inspectors. Clipboards. Cameras. Official expressions. Jake Morrison. The lead inspector is mid-40s. Government haircut. That's me. We've received reports of potential wetland violations on this property. Endangered species habitat concerns. Possible water contamination affecting Crystal Lake. My stomach drops. What? From who? Anonymous tip. We're required to investigate. They spread across my property. Taking samples. Photographing everything. Making notes. The workshop construction? Shut down immediately. How long? I ask. Environmental impact study. Required before any construction. 6 to 8 weeks. Cost estimate. He checks his paperwork. $70,000 to $80,000. I can't breathe. I don't have that. Then construction's halted indefinitely. They leave 3 hours later. Orange tape everywhere. Federal investigation area signs. My contractors call. Can't work on a federal site. Too much liability. They're out. Everything's frozen. My savings bleeding. Mortgage due in 2 weeks. Emma's medication refill is coming. Insurance only covers 70%. I need that workshop income. Margaret's using the government as a weapon. That night, I drive into town. Need supplies. Need to think. I pass the country club. Through the window, I see her. Margaret. At a table. Wine glass raised. Laughing with 3 other women. She sees my truck. Makes eye contact through the glass. Raises her wine glass higher. Smiles. Pure venom. Pure victory. She's telling me, you can't win. I have power you can't fight. I drive home. Hands gripping the steering wheel so hard they ache. Midnight. I'm in my father's old workshop. The original one. Built in the 1970s. Still standing. His tools hang on the walls. Saws. Chisels. Hammers. Each one worn smooth by his hands. The shotgun hangs above the workbench. My grandfather's. Never fired. Never even cleaned in 30 years. It's just a symbol. Heritage. History. But looking at it, I realize something. My father taught me more than carpentry. He taught me about standing your ground. Protecting what's yours. Fighting for family. Not with violence. With intelligence. With law. With community. I remember his words from when I was a kid. The law protects property owners, son. Know your rights better than anyone else. I start researching again. Federal environmental regulations. EPA complaint procedures. Anonymous tip protocols. Hours pass. Coffee goes cold. Then I find it. EPA requires credible evidence before investigation. Anonymous tips must be verified independently. These inspectors showed up based solely on Margaret's fabricated complaint. No independent verification. That's a violation of EPA procedure. I have grounds to challenge. Demand review. Potentially sue for harassment. I call Derek. Doesn't matter that it's 2 a.m. I need an environmental lawyer. Best one available. On it. But Jake, lawyers cost money. I'll figure it out. Emma appears in the workshop doorway, wrapped in a blanket. Dad? It's late. I look at my daughter. Sarah's eyes. My father's strength. Come here, baby. She sits beside me. I put my arm around her. Are we going to lose the house? She asks quietly. No. I promise. How can you be sure? I look at the shotgun. The tools. My father's legacy surrounding us. Because I'm not fighting alone anymore. Morning comes fast. I'm running on 2 hours of sleep and fury. Derek arrives at 10 a.m. Brought company. Environmental attorney named Sarah Chun, no relation to anyone local. Specializes in EPA harassment cases. She reviews everything in 30 minutes. This is textbook abuse of federal process. The EPA complaint was filed through a shell company Margaret controls. No physical evidence. No independent verification. They violated their own protocols. Can we stop it? Already drafting the motion. We'll file for immediate review and demand the investigation be suspended pending verification of the complaint's validity. Relief floods through me. How long? Week. Maybe 2. But Jake, her expression hardens. Margaret won't stop here. She's escalating. You need to be prepared for worse. Worse than federal agencies? Much worse. Derek spreads photos across my kitchen table. Surveillance shots. Margaret meeting with people I don't recognize. She's hiring help, he explains. Private investigators. Process servers. She's building a legal army. Let her. I have evidence. Evidence isn't enough if you're buried in lawsuits. She's got money. Lots of it. She'll drown you in legal fees even if she loses every case. He's right. I can feel the trap closing. What do? We go nuclear first, Derek says. The community meeting this weekend. We gather every victim. We file the class action Monday morning. We don't give her time to regroup. And the FBI investigation? Still moving. But federal cases take months. We need immediate action. Sarah adds, I've also contacted the state attorney general's office. HOA fraud is their jurisdiction. They're interested. Multiple fronts. Multiple attacks. Overwhelm her. Do it, I say. All of it. The community meeting is set for Saturday. My property. 2 p.m. Word spreads fast. Not just neighbors. People from 3 towns over. Everyone Margaret's touched. Everyone she's hurt. Friday night, my truck tires are slashed. All 4. No cameras. No proof. But I know. I call the sheriff. They file a report. Nothing they can do without evidence. I buy new tires. $800 I don't have. Emma finds the tire iron in the driveway. Dad, I'm scared. I hold her. Me too, baby. But scared doesn't mean we stop. Saturday arrives. Clear sky. Green mountains perfect in the distance. Cars start arriving at 1 p.m. By 2, 40 people crowd my property. Folding chairs. Coffee. Determination. I stand before them. Thank you for coming. I know what Margaret Davies has done to you. To your families. I know because she's doing it to me now. I show the emails. Explain the illegal HOA. Detail the scheme. People start sharing stories. One by one. Mrs. Wilson. Fined $30,000 for offense. Lost her retirement savings. Tom Bradley. Reported to the fire marshal for a fabricated violation. Property condemned. Family homeless for 3 months. Jennifer Park. Margaret filed false CPS reports. Children temporarily removed. Marriage nearly destroyed. Story after story. Pain after pain. The anger in the air becomes tangible. Physical. We file a class action lawsuit Monday morning, I announce. Everyone who's been victimized joins. We sue for damages. We sue for emotional distress. We demand criminal prosecution. Applause. Agreement. Then I see it. White Mercedes. Climbing my driveway. Margaret. She's here. The crowd sees her. Stands. Forms a wall. She gets out. Sand beige pantsuit today. Hair perfect. Expression cold. This is private property, I call out. You're not welcome. I have every right to address false accusations, she shouts back. Then address them in court. Leave. She doesn't move. Pulls out her phone. Starts filming. I'm documenting this harassment, she announces. You're all witnesses to this conspiracy against me. Someone in the crowd shouts back. You destroyed my family. Others join. Voices rising. Anger boiling over. I raise my hand. Everyone. Don't give her ammunition. The crowd quiets. Barely. Margaret smiles. She's got footage now. People yelling. Aggressive. She'll edit it. Use it against us. You've made a mistake, Jake Morrison, she says. Cold. Calm. A very serious mistake. She gets back in her Mercedes. Drives away slowly. Deliberately. Everyone's silent. Derek approaches. She's planning something big. That wasn't recon. That was a promise. I watch her taillights disappear. Let her come. I say. We're ready. But I'm not sure I believe it. Monday morning. 9 a.m. sharp. We walk into the law offices of Peterson and Associates in downtown Asheville. Not just me and Derek. 17 families. All Margaret's victims. The attorney, Marcus Peterson, is a bulldog. 60 years old. Gray suit. Reputation for destroying corporate fraud. He spreads our evidence across the conference table. The emails. The HOA documents. The victim testimonies. This is the strongest case I've seen in 20 years, he says. We're filing today. By noon, the class action lawsuit hits the court system. $1.2 million in damages. 17 plaintiffs. Counts of fraud, extortion, intentional infliction of emotional distress, civil conspiracy. Margaret Davies named personally. Davidson Development Corp. named. Her brother-in-law named. The news breaks online within an hour. My phone explodes. Texts, calls, messages of support, but also threats. Anonymous numbers. Drop this or else. You'll regret this. Watch your back. I forward everything to the sheriff. Document everything. Tuesday. The counterattack begins. Margaret files a restraining order. Claims I threatened her with a weapon. The shotgun. Emergency hearing scheduled for Thursday. She's lying. I tell Marcus. I know, but we need to prove it. Do you have any evidence from your first confrontation? I remember. My neighbor, Mr. Patterson. He has security cameras. We drive there immediately. Patterson's elderly. 75. Shaking hands. I saw everything that day, he says. Margaret was the aggressor. His camera footage is grainy but clear enough. Margaret jabbing my chest. Yelling. Threatening. Me standing still. Holding blueprints. Never moving toward the house. Never touching the shotgun. The weapon's visible through my doorway. But I never approached it. Marcus copies the footage. This destroys her case. Wednesday. Media circus intensifies. Regional news picks up the story. Mountain community fights, HOA tyranny. Interviews with victims. Photos of Margaret in her power suits. She gives interviews too. Plays victim. Tears. Trembling voice. I'm being harassed by a disturbed veteran. She's weaponizing my PTSD again. Nationally this time. Emma sees it online. Comes to me crying. Dad, they're calling you dangerous. I hold her. They're wrong. And we'll prove it. But the damage spreads. Social media erupts. Half support me. Half believe Margaret's lies. Veteran threatens HOA president, trends locally. Derek finds bot accounts amplifying the narrative. She's paying for this. Astroturfing sympathy. Everything's warfare now. Legal. Media. Digital. Thursday. The hearing. County courthouse. Cold marble floors. Fluorescent lights humming. Margaret arrives in a blush pink pantsuit. Makeup perfect. Hairstyled. She's playing innocent victim. I'm in slacks and a button-down. Clean. Respectful. Emma sits behind me in the gallery. Margaret takes the stand first. Her testimony is Oscar-worthy. He was standing there with that shotgun visible, she says, voice breaking. I feared for my life. Did Mr. Morrison point the weapon at you? Her attorney asks. He didn't have to. The threat was implicit. He's a veteran with documented PTSD. Documented violent tendencies. Lies. All lies. Her attorney shows photos. My property. The shotgun visible through the window. This weapon was on display, Your Honor. A clear intimidation tactic. The judge, a woman in her 60s, listens impassively. Marcus stands. Your Honor, may I cross-examine? Proceed. Marcus approaches Margaret. Calm. Professional. Ms. Davies, did Mr. Morrison ever touch this weapon during your encounter? No, but did he verbally threaten you? The presence of the weapon was. Yes or no, Ms. Davies? She hesitates. No. Did he advance toward you physically? He didn't have to. Yes or no? No. So to be clear, he didn't touch the weapon, didn't threaten you verbally, didn't advance physically. What exactly did he do that threatened you? She's flustered now. He was intimidating. Or were you intimidating him? Let's watch something. Marcus plays Patterson's security footage. The courtroom goes silent. Margaret's face on screen. Aggressive. Finger jabbing. Yelling. Threatening Emma. Threatening the college fund. Me standing still. Calm. Holding blueprints. The shotgun visible inside the house. Untouched. Irrelevant. Marcus pauses the footage. Who's threatening whom, Ms. Davies? Her attorney objects. Relevance. I'm establishing pattern of behavior, Your Honor. The judge nods. Overruled. Continue. Marcus presents more evidence. 17 restraining orders Margaret's filed in 3 states. All dismissed. All part of her pattern. Your Honor, Ms. Davies weaponizes the court system when she's exposed. This is her pattern: harass, threaten, then claim victimhood when people fight back. The judge reviews the evidence. Takes her time. Finally, restraining order denied. Ms. Davies, I'm admonishing you for abuse of judicial process. If you file frivolously again, we'll discuss perjury charges. Margaret's face goes crimson. This is a travesty. Ms. Davies, sit down. She doesn't. Keeps shouting. He's dangerous. You're protecting a bailiff. 2 officers move toward her. Her attorney pulls her down. But the damage is done. Her mask has slipped. Everyone sees it now. We exit the courthouse. Reporters swarm. Margaret tries giving a statement. Can't. Protesters surround her. HOA Karen, go home. Someone throws an egg. Hits her Mercedes. She flees. I give a brief statement. Simple. Dignified. I just want to build a workshop and honor my father's memory. The cameras love it. Emma hugs me on the courthouse steps. We won, Dad. One battle, I say. Not the war. Because I know Margaret. She doesn't stop. She escalates. The courthouse victory spreads like wildfire. News coverage shifts. Veteran vindicated. HOA president's lies exposed. Social media turns against Margaret completely. Memes. Mockery. HOA Karen becomes shorthand for petty tyranny. Her carefully constructed image disintegrates in 48 hours. But the legal battle accelerates. The class action moves forward. Discovery begins. Marcus subpoenas Margaret's financial records. Bank statements. Email servers. Phone records. What emerges is staggering. $400,000 in consulting fees over 5 years. Payments from Davidson Development. Cash deposits. Offshore accounts. Wire transfers crossing state lines. Federal jurisdiction confirmed. The FBI investigation intensifies. Agents interview victims. Seize documents. Build their case. Davidson Development Corp. issues a statement. We've severed all relationships with Margaret Davies and are cooperating fully with federal authorities. They're protecting themselves. Cutting her loose. Margaret's alone now. 1 week later, the HOA formally dissolves. Emergency neighborhood vote. 83% approval. The illegitimate organization ceases to exist. All fines. All rules. All threats. Null and void. Families Margaret victimized start receiving restitution. 30,000 here. 40,000 there. From the settlement fund Marcus negotiated. My portion covers my father's remaining medical debt. Emma's college fund. The workshop construction costs. Plus attorney fees. We're whole again. Finally, construction resumes. The EPA review concluded, no violations found. The anonymous complaint was fabricated. Federal investigators are pursuing charges against Margaret for filing false reports. My contractors return. Lumber trucks arrive. The sound of hammers echoes across the mountain. Neighbors show up to help. Volunteers. People who were too scared before. Now they're angry. Motivated. United. We're not just building a workshop. We're reclaiming our community. Emma documents everything on social media. Her videos go viral. Veteran dad rebuilds after HOA nightmare. Hundreds of thousands of views. Messages of support from across the country. Your story inspired me to fight my HOA. Thank you for standing up to bullies. This is what America should be. The attention is overwhelming. But Emma handles it beautifully. She's her mother's daughter. Strong. Graceful. But Margaret's not finished. Her trial date is set. Federal charges. Wire fraud. Extortion. Filing false government reports. She faces 10 years minimum if convicted. Her attorney negotiates. Offers plea deals. But Margaret refuses. I'm innocent, she tells reporters outside the federal courthouse. This is a conspiracy. Nobody believes her. Her house goes into foreclosure. Her Mercedes is seized as proceeds of crime. Her life unravels publicly. But she won't stop. One night, 3 weeks after the restraining order hearing, my phone rings. 2 a.m. Derek. Urgent. Jake, check your security cameras. Now. I pull up the app on my phone. The feed from my property. My blood freezes. Margaret's there. On my land. White sedan, not her Mercedes. Parked at the edge of my driveway. She's walking toward my father's original workshop. The one from the 1970s. She's carrying something. 2 red containers. Gasoline. Oh my God, I breathe. I'm calling 911, Derek says. Don't confront her. But I'm already moving. Grabbing my phone. My keys. Emma's asleep upstairs. Safe. I slip outside through the back door. Silent. The night is cold. Mountain air sharp. Stars brilliant overhead. I can see Margaret now, 50 yards away, pouring gasoline around the workshop walls. My father's workshop. His tools. His legacy. She's going to burn it all. I stay in shadow. Film everything on my phone. She finishes pouring. Sets the cans down. Reaches into her pocket. Pulls out a lighter. Her hand shakes. Even from here, I can see it. This is it. Her final desperate move. If she can't have power, she'll destroy everything. The lighter clicks. Once. Twice. Doesn't catch. Looking for this. I step into the light. Hold up a small object. The flint from her lighter. I'd approached from behind while she was distracted. Removed it. Morning breaks cold and perfect. I haven't slept. Neither has Emma. We sat on the porch until dawn, watching the mountains emerge from darkness. The workshop, my father's original one, stands untouched. Gasoline smell lingers, but the building survived. Sheriff Palmer returns at 7 a.m. Coffee in hand. Thought you could use this, he says, handing me the cup. Thanks. Margaret's in county lockup. Attempted arson. Criminal trespassing. Violation of restraining order. Yes, there's now one against her. She's not getting bail. I just nod. Too exhausted for relief. The FBI's adding charges. This stunt last night. It's going to bury her. Emma joins us. Dark circles under her eyes. Will she go to prison? Palmer nods. Years. Federal charges alone guarantee it. Add last night. She's done. The media descends again. National coverage this time. HOA president arrested for attempted arson. Veterans' property targeted in revenge attack. My phone won't stop. Interview requests. Book deals. Movie options. I ignore most of it. Derek handles the media. I focus on what matters. Building. The new workshop construction accelerates. Community volunteers show up daily. Former victims working alongside me. We're not just building structure. We're building solidarity. Tom Bradley, the guy Margaret falsely reported, brings his teenage son. They work the framing. Mrs. Wilson, the fence violation victim, brings lunch for everyone. Homemade sandwiches. Lemonade. Jennifer Park, the CPS nightmare, helps Emma document everything for social media. We're healing. Together. 3 weeks later. Margaret's preliminary hearing. The evidence is overwhelming. Security footage. Trail camera video. Gasoline residue. Her fingerprints on the containers. Federal prosecutor adds charges. Wire fraud. Extortion. Criminal conspiracy. Filing false federal reports. Attempted arson. She faces 25 years. Her attorney tries negotiating again. Offers a plea. 10 years. Full restitution. Margaret refuses. Still claims innocence. Still plays victim. The system is corrupt, she tells reporters. Jake Morrison manipulated everyone. But nobody's listening. Her credibility is destroyed. The evidence is absolute. Trial date set for 6 months out. The workshop nears completion. Beautiful timber frame structure. Glass walls facing Crystal Lake. My father's dream realized. I install the tools. His saws. His chisels. His hammers. Each one placed with reverence. The shotgun hangs above the main workbench. Still never fired. Still just a symbol. But now it represents something different. Not threat. Not violence. Heritage. Standing your ground. Protecting what matters. Emma helps me sand the final beams. The wood smells like pine and promise. Mom would be proud, she says quietly. Yeah, so would Grandpa. We work in comfortable silence. Father and daughter. Building something lasting. The community celebrates. Grand opening of Morrison Woodworks. 100 people show up. Neighbors. Victims. Supporters. Local news covers it. Phoenix from ashes. Veterans Workshop opens after HOA battle. Marcus Peterson gives a speech. This is what happens when good people stand together against corruption. Applause echoes across the mountain. I unveil my first piece. A rocking chair. Handcrafted. Beautiful. This is for my father, I announce. Thomas Morrison. Master carpenter. The man who taught me that standing your ground isn't about violence. It's about principle. More applause. Later, I drive to the cemetery. Place the rocking chair on my father's grave. We did it, Dad, I whisper. We finished what you started. The mountains stand eternal behind me. The lake shimmers below. Emma takes my hand. What happens now? I look at the workshop in the distance. Orders already coming in. Custom furniture requests from across the country. Now we build. I say. We create. We honor the legacy. She smiles. And Margaret? Margaret made her choices. Now she lives with them. But deep down, I know trials can surprise you. 6 months until justice is served. 6 months for her lawyers to work angles. Nothing's guaranteed. Except this. I'm not backing down. Not now. Not ever. 6 months pass like water. The workshop thrives. Orders flood in. Custom tables. Chairs. Cabinets. People want a piece of the story. I hire 2 craftsmen. Both former Margaret victims. Tom Bradley and Carl Henderson. Good men who lost everything. Now they're rebuilding too. Emma's accepted to UNC Chapel Hill. Full scholarship. Her essay about standing up to injustice sealed it. Life should be perfect. But the trial looms. Federal Courthouse. Asheville. October morning. Leaves blazing orange and gold on the mountains. Margaret enters in chains. Prison, orange jumpsuit. No power suit now. Hair unstyled. Makeup gone. She's aged a decade in 6 months. But her eyes still burn with defiance. The courtroom is packed. Victims in every row. Media filling the back. Cameras outside. Not allowed inside federal court. Judge Whitmore presides. 70 years old. Reputation for no-nonsense justice. The prosecution presents first. FBI agent. Financial expert. 17 victim testimonies. The emails. The wire transfers. The offshore accounts. The scheme laid bare. Margaret's attorney tries defending her. Claims she was manipulated by Davidson Development. Claims she didn't understand the transactions. Nobody believes it. Then the arson evidence. Video footage played on courtroom screens. Margaret pouring gasoline. Attempting to light the fire. Her face clear in the trail camera night vision. This is what desperation looks like, the prosecutor says. A woman who terrorized an entire community for years. When exposed, she tried to destroy evidence. Destroy property. Destroy lives. The jury watches. 12 faces. Unreadable. But I can feel the tide. Justice is coming. Day 3. Margaret takes the stand. Against her attorney's advice. She's combative. Defensive. Blames everyone. Jake Morrison manipulated the system, she testifies. He used his veteran status to gain sympathy. He stole my private documents. He turned the community against me. The prosecutor cross-examines. Ms. Davies, did you or did you not accept $400,000 in payments from Davidson Development? Those were legitimate consulting fees. For what services? She hesitates. Real estate advice. Advice that involved forcing homeowners to sell through fabricated violations. I never forced anyone. You fined Mrs. Wilson $30,000 for a fence that met county codes. True or false? The HOA codes. An HOA you established illegally without proper homeowner approval. True or false? Margaret's face reddens. True or false? The paperwork was filed. Without the required 75% approval. True or false? Yes, but... So you ran an illegitimate organization. Extorted homeowners. Accepted bribes. Then attempted to destroy evidence when exposed. Is that accurate? She's crumbling. You're twisting everything. I'm reading your own emails, Ms. Davies. Your own words. The prosecutor displays another email. Projected huge on the screen. Morrison property prime target. Suggest aggressive tactics. Medical hardship effective. Recommend daily escalation. You targeted my dying father, I whisper. Derek squeezes my shoulder. The jury sees it. The calculation. The cruelty. The premeditation. Margaret tries recovering. That was taken out of context. But it's over. Everyone knows. Day 5. Closing arguments. Defense claims Margaret was a victim too. Manipulated. Overwhelmed. Made mistakes. Prosecution calls it what it is. Systematic fraud. Conspiracy. Attempted destruction of evidence. The jury deliberates. For hours. Verdict comes back at 6 p.m. On the count of wire fraud, guilty. On the count of extortion, guilty. On the count of filing false federal reports, guilty. On the count of attempted arson, guilty. 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 Every charge. Every count. Margaret collapses. Screaming. This is wrong. This is... Bailiffs restrain her. She's dragged from the courtroom still shouting. The room erupts. Victims crying. Hugging. Years of pain released in seconds. Emma grips my hand. Tears streaming. It's over, Dad. I can't speak. Can't move. Just feel the weight lifting. Marcus approaches. Sentencing in 3 weeks. But Jake? She's done. 20 years minimum. Outside, reporters swarm. I give one statement. Justice was served. Not just for me. For everyone Margaret Davies hurt. This is what happens when communities stand together. Simple. Dignified. Margaret's attorney tries speaking. Can't. Protesters drown him out. Justice for victims. We drive home as the sun sets. Mountains purple against orange sky. Emma's quiet. Processing. You okay? I ask. Yeah. It's really over. It is. 3 weeks until sentencing. But the verdict is everything. Margaret Davies will spend decades in prison. The tyrant is defeated. Finally. 3 weeks feel like 3 days. The workshop operates at full capacity. Orders backed up for 6 months. Tom and Carl work alongside me daily. Good men. Good craftsmanship. Emma prepares for college. Packing. Planning. Growing up too fast. Life moves forward. But sentencing day approaches. Federal courthouse. November morning. First frost on the mountains. Margaret's brought in chains again. She's thinner. Hollow-eyed. Broken. But I feel no satisfaction. Just exhaustion. Judge Whitmore reviews the pre-sentencing report. Takes his time. Victims give impact statements. One by one. Mrs. Wilson describes losing her retirement savings. The shame. The helplessness. Tom Bradley describes his family's homelessness. His children's trauma. Jennifer Park describes the CPS nightmare. Her marriage nearly destroyed. The therapy bills. 17 stories. 17 lives damaged. I speak last. Margaret Davies targeted my dying father. Used his medical hardship as leverage. When he died, she came after me. My daughter. Our future. But she didn't just attack us. She attacked everything my father built. His reputation. His legacy. His community. She thought power meant control. But real power is community. Standing together. Refusing to break. I don't hate Margaret Davies. I pity her. She had every advantage. Education. Money. Opportunity. She chose cruelty. I hope she uses her time in prison to understand what she destroyed. And why. I sit. Emma's crying quietly. Judge Whitmore speaks. Ms. Davies, you orchestrated a years-long conspiracy to defraud homeowners. You weaponized bureaucracy. Destroyed lives for profit. When exposed, you attempted arson. You've shown no remorse. No accountability. No recognition of the harm you've caused. On wire fraud, 15 years federal prison. On extortion, 10 years, concurrent. On false federal reports, 5 years, concurrent. On attempted arson, 8 years, consecutive. Total, 23 years. 5 years supervised release. Full restitution to all victims. Permanent ban from any homeowner association involvement. Margaret's led away. No screaming this time. Just empty silence. 23 years. She's 61. She'll be 84 when released. Her life is over. Outside, the November sun breaks through clouds. Victims gather. Hugging. Crying. Finally free. Marcus addresses the media. This case proves the system works when people stand together. When evidence is preserved. When communities refuse to be silenced. I decline interviews. I've said enough. Emma and I drive home. Mountains blazing with fall color. Do you feel better? She asks. Not better. Just finished. Good finished or bad finished? Just finished. We pass the workshop. Smoke rising from the chimney. Tom and Carl working inside. Emma's right. It is over. December. The neighborhood transforms. Families move in. Young couples. Retirees. People attracted by the story. The community spirit. Someone proposes renaming the development. Morrison Meadows. Unanimous vote. New sign installed at the entrance. Morrison Meadows. EST 2025. Community. Integrity. Justice. The dedication ceremony is small. 50 people. Hot cider. Emma reads a poem she wrote about her grandfather. I unveil the sign. My father's name preserved forever. Sheriff Palmer attends. Your dad would be proud, Jake. Thanks. You know, Margaret's attorney filed an appeal. My chest tightens. Will it work? No chance. Evidence is absolute. But it'll take years to process. She'll die in prison either way. Strange comfort in that. Christmas Eve. Emma and I are in the workshop. Final project before she leaves for college. A bench. Simple. Beautiful. Cherry wood. For Mom's grave, Emma says. We work in silence. Sanding. Fitting joints. The motion's meditative. The shotgun hangs above us. Still never fired. Still just a symbol. Dad. Emma's voice is quiet. Yeah, baby. Thank you. For what? For fighting. For not giving up. For showing me what standing your ground looks like. I stop working. Look at my daughter. Sarah's eyes. My father's determination. I couldn't have done it without you. We're a good team. The best. We finish the bench as snow begins falling outside. First snow of winter. The mountains disappear into white. The lake vanishes. The workshop becomes an island of warmth and light. We carry the bench to the cemetery the next morning. Christmas Day. Place it beside Mom's grave. Beside Grandpa's grave. Emma and I sit. Snow falling gently. Merry Christmas, she whispers. I put my arm around her. The workshop is visible from here. Smoke rising from the chimney. A beacon. Margaret's in prison. The community is healed. Emma's future is secure. My father's legacy lives on. We won. Spring arrives like a promise. Emma's at UNC. Thriving. Studying pre-law. She wants to help people fight injustice. The workshop is legendary now. Orders from 12 states. Corporate clients. High-end restaurants. Museums. But I keep it small. Quality over quantity. Tom and Carl. Maybe one more craftsman eventually. This isn't about empire. It's about legacy. April morning. I'm sanding a table when my phone rings. Marcus Peterson. Jake, thought you should know. Margaret's appeal was denied. Final. No more legal options. How long did she serve? 6 months so far. 22.5 years remaining. I should feel satisfaction. I don't. Just emptiness. Thanks for calling. One more thing. The restitution checks cleared. Every victim received full payment. Your father's medical bills, completely covered. Plus damages. That hits different. Dad died owing money to hospitals, insurance companies, collection agencies. Now his accounts are settled. His name cleared. Marcus, thank you. For everything. You did the hard part, Jake. I just filed paperwork. We hang up. I walk outside. The mountains are green again. New growth everywhere. The lake sparkles in morning sun. Perfect mirror. I think about Margaret. Sitting in a cell. 22 years ahead of her. Nothing but regret. Or maybe not. Maybe she still blames me. Blames the system. Blames everyone but herself. Some people never learn. June. Community celebration. 5-year anniversary of Morrison Meadows' founding. Wait, that's wrong. 1-year anniversary. Time is strange. Actually, we're celebrating the workshop's 1-year anniversary. 100 people attend. Barbecue. Live music. Kids running through green grass. Emma's home for summer. Brings her boyfriend. Nice kid, pre-med student. I approve. She gives a speech. Poised. Confident. Her mother's daughter. A year ago, my dad faced impossible odds. A corrupt HOA president. Federal agencies. Legal threats. Attempted arson. But he didn't break. He stood his ground. Not with violence. Not with anger. With evidence. With community. With principle. That's what this workshop represents. Not just furniture. Not just business. Proof that good people can defeat corruption. That standing together matters. That justice still exists. Thunderous applause. I take the microphone. Last time I'll tell this story publicly. My father built things. Houses. Furniture. Community. He taught me that legacy isn't what you leave behind. It's what you build while you're here. Margaret Davies tried to destroy that legacy. She failed. Not because I stopped her. Because all of you stood with me. This workshop is yours as much as mine. This community is proof that bullies lose when good people refuse to surrender. To my father, we finished what you started. To my daughter, your future is bright and earned. To everyone here, thank you. For believing. For fighting. For standing. I raise my glass. To Morrison Meadows. To community. To justice. Everyone drinks. Cheers echo across the mountain. Sunset. The crowd thins. Emma and her boyfriend walk by the lake. Young love. New beginnings. I sit on the workshop porch. Tom and Carl join me. Beer in hand. Peaceful silence. You ever regret it? Tom asks. Fighting Margaret? The stress? The danger? I think about it. No. Some things are worth fighting for. Carl nods. Your dad knew that. He fought her too. You finished it. We finished it, I correct. All of us. The sun drops behind the mountains. Sky blazes orange and purple. Lake reflects the fire. The shotgun's inside. Still mounted. Still never fired. Still just a symbol. Heritage. Standing your ground. protecting what matters. Not through violence. Through principle. Night falls. Stars emerge. Millions of them in the mountain darkness. I walk to my father's grave one last time. The bench Emma and I built sits there, weathering beautifully. We did good, Dad, I whisper. We did real good. The workshop lights glow in the distance. Warm. Inviting. Permanent. Margaret Davies sits in a cell somewhere. 22 years of darkness ahead. I sit in paradise. 22 years of building ahead. We both made choices. We both live with consequences. Emma finds me at the cemetery. Sits beside me on the bench. You okay, Dad? Yeah. Just thinking. About your mom. About Grandpa. About how lucky I am. She leans her head on my shoulder. We're lucky too. You taught us how to fight. I taught you how to stand. Same thing. Maybe she's right. We sit in comfortable silence. Father and daughter. 2 generations of Morrison strength. The mountains stand eternal. The lake whispers in darkness. The workshop waits for tomorrow. Margaret Davies tried to break us. She failed. We're still here. Still building. Still standing. And we always will be. If this story resonated with you, if it made you angry, made you cry, made you cheer, leave a comment below. Tell me where you're watching from. Tell me your own story of standing up to injustice. Tell me what fighting back means to you. Because stories like this matter. Not just mine. Yours too. We're all fighting something. Some battle. Some bully. Some system that seems unbeatable. But together, standing shoulder to shoulder, we're unstoppable. Drop that comment. Share your story. Let's build a community right here. Because that's how we win. Together.